So I've been working on shortcuts. I had to do a lot of foundational work and re-architecture of more of the canvas. But ultimately, let's see what we can do here. Let's put maybe 2 cards on the page, and then a button. Let's put a button. Like, we're not actually building a UI. I'm just demonstrating what I've been working on. So we'll do a space between, and let's go to the inspect mode. And yeah, we're gonna demonstrate shortcuts, basically. Cut and paste. It's all about optimization of the experience, really, of building or designing experiences with the components we have. So I've got cut, I've got undo, I've got copy, I've got paste. But ultimately, it's the things that you don't see, and it's the behavior of how maybe when you cut, maybe where it focuses. And in this case, it was very frustrating for me as I used the product and demonstrate it, is when I cut and then paste, it's not focused on the canvas. And that's what I've been focusing on the past day, I think. So ultimately, let's put the card on the far right. And how we can do that is the canvas is respecting the web. So it's left to right. So let's cut this. We can paste this here, knowing that this will append on the end. So I just pasted that within the stack. I had it focused. Let's say I want to cut this button, and I can, I could easily use the controls here, but we do have them revealed here, so we can just use those. So let's cut the button. And now let's just paste. So it looks like we've got stack selected, but we don't. Let's paste it. And it pastes directly to the canvas. So ultimately, what I'm doing here is, this is the default. And then if you did want to actually paste back into the item, you would just naturally select it. We do have undo as well, so let's undo it. You can kind of see these credits. There's a little bit of a bug. I might leave it because ultimately it says you get like 10, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do something there. I might do something creative with that. Maybe it's like a health, or replenishes your health or something. Yeah, we just need to set a little bit of a limit. I'm unsure how much of a performance having undo has on the application, but undo is definitely necessary. You can just see, see, look, you can even capture state. The tab isn't updating, but yeah, you can change values and it undoes that selection. So that was kind of unexpected, but yeah. So let's build up that credit again. Boom, we're at max. Yeah, it's kind of what I've been working on. It's I've had a chance to really finesse the UI. It's just using my foundational system, and also my thinking around design systems. So, incorporating guidelines into the application. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Let's see. So yeah, Starter just gets guidelines for free. I think that's one thing. Oh, not free, but it's like cheap. That's one thing about design tooling. It's like, let's just call Figma out. Their guidelines are terrible. It's a small WYSIWYG editor. Like, they've got Superbase. Come on. You can easily install a feature inside Figma to kind of maybe pull in hosted guidelines outside of Figma and pull them into the application. So I don't know, there's opportunities that they could implement. But yeah, I want to make that a hero of my application. Yeah, and then also, I guess, this probably isn't the best example, but maybe a button. Let's center it, because, let's put it in a container or two. So a button, you can see how we've got text here. You can pre-configure this via the JSON, the setup files. And yeah, your content editors can come in here and really craft that content, work really in a minimal file, like a JSON file, and really craft the language and then have them preloaded in the properties panel. You can also switch out to just a blank string, of text you can enter, or you can easily switch back to what the system provides. So there is the ability to escape and use something a bit more custom. Oh, the other thing that I think is pretty cool is, we have our component list, and components, yeah, they're pretty boring on their own when you can't do anything with it. So, I mean, I do have pre-built layout components that just helps a designer or anyone really construct a page without having to think about these kind of, I guess, the Higgs boson of websites is that matter that you don't see, that dark matter within the universe. But anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about was the recipes. So it really hammers home the point that we have these atoms, these individual building blocks, and instead of instructing maybe a design system team to build a really intricate 3-up card component, we actually leverage the idea of compositions, being able to construct different UIs with the components that we have in a really quick way. You can define it with in a JSON format, and it will output the structure aligned with your design system. So in this example, we're using my design system that I've been working on. But the idea is for anyone to be able to use this and easily import their own design system. It doesn't need to be web components. That's the only limitation. And then, you also need to have it hosted on a CDN, somewhere that you can point to the design system and then utilize it. And then you're able to use it, within this view on the canvas, and experiment. You can export these as HTML, which includes the CDNs at the top, and then it just renders your page. Obviously, it's not an application, it's just a snapshot of the design. And kind of the opportunities after that are quite endless as well, because it's in HTML, CSS, it's using your components, right? You're going to be able to maybe feed that into your application. Maybe you can go through an LLM, an agent to make that happen, or maybe you have the skills to just pull out the parts that you think are useful, and the dev team can go from there and start to flesh it out further. There is no saving in terms of cloud saving. The export is that first step. Considering I've got undo functionality, it demonstrates to me that this is going to be possible to save to cloud. I'm also really interested in exploring a save to desktop mechanism, which will look like a Finder window. We'll do something like that. Some interesting notes about this. I've only used 3 media queries, and it's mainly for the spacing between these at different screen sizes. I'm happy with that because my system is doing the work, and it comes down to these individual kind of building blocks that you don't see as well. And I do intend to optimize this more for smaller devices, not touchscreen. I wouldn't know how to do that. But obviously we have the use AI option, which kind of makes it a bit hands-free. So you could do that, you could view it. So that's the kind of the route that I'll go down there, that's pretty exciting to think about. Really happy with this. Oh, and the other interesting thing is I've got 0 errors in my console log. None. And I've got no warnings.